We got a video from the Daily Wire here called "No, a Man Cannot Become a Woman." So this seems like, from what I'm getting a look at here, this is gonna be like one of those instances where like Ben Shapiro or some guy that's like got a ton of media training and like debate experience goes to like a college campus to prey on like young inexperienced people and like debate them, like destroy these libtard cuck college kids in a debate in front of like a hostile audience. Let's see. I'm excited to see what this is. We're gonna slow it down a little bit because the video is only 1 minute and 35 seconds long. I'm excited. Let's do this.
Hi, Matt. Thanks for coming. Love your show. My question is about gender.
Oh, it's not a debate at all. It seems like they're having a fan meetup and she's gonna ask a question about gender. All right, here we go.
So it's kind of a thought experiment. So as medical science advances, suppose there were a way to completely transform a man into a woman physically so that he could become pregnant instead of impregnating and vice versa. At that point, would you believe that a man can become a woman and vice versa?
Wait, Vosh has literally used this example before in his videos. There was just like this meme that Vosh would do where he'd be like, reactionaries just hate trans people. They're just degenerate, transphobic pieces of shit. Even if you could find a way, like all their arguments are just based in hatred and in bitterness. Even if you could transform a like a cis man into a cis woman entirely, just completely, in every way, shape, and form, they would still argue against it. They would still think it's they would still think that actually they're technically a man because now there's some essence of womanness that they would lack somehow. That's ordained by God or something. So yeah, here comes that argument essentially. Holy shit, they're gonna go mask off with it too.
Or do you think there's something more than physical that causes
This is
manhood or
it.
womanhood?
I do think there's something more than physical, but
It's a God-given essence of womanness is what we're about to get. I guarantee it.
when you say completely become a woman, what exactly you mean? Down to the chromosomes? I mean everything?
Everything.
Well, then at that point, I would say that you've just killed that man and created a whole new person from scratch, basically. That you just
What? How? Wait, wait, wait. So like when you like, wait, what? They will try anything, huh? Yeah. It's not cloning. It's not cloning where you're killing the previous clone. It's just a whole new person. It's just changing their body into that of a female. What?
created a whole new person. I mean, even the DNA. I mean, everything. We're swapping all that out. In that, it's an interesting thought experiment. But it would seem to me that if you did that, and if science was able to do that, which it never will be, but
You can never make that claim. Who knows? In the future, that may be entirely possible. Hey, listen. In the future, we may have nanomachines. Fucking nanomachines will be a thing, alright? Listen, there's all sorts of fucking shit we'll be able to do in the future. You can't make the claim that science will never be able to do this, alright?
you would just have.
Hold on, can we look at Matt Walsh's, I don't know much about this Matt Walsh guy. I can already tell he's a fucking degenerate transphobic piece of shit. So, let's see. Matt Walsh, Rational Wiki. I feel like I should use the term degenerate for reactionaries more often. I feel like we need to co-opt that word. What do you think, chat? One in chat if you think we should start calling transphobes degenerate. Let's see. Abortion, transphobia, mental health, voting rights, men's rights, hit pieces. Ooh, lots of ones. That's good. Let's see what he thinks about mental health. Walsh does not seem to believe in the theory that chemical imbalances lead to depression, which is strongly implied that he denies that antidepressants can treat it. While claiming that suicide is a choice, he also claims that the notion of chemical imbalances causing depression has supposedly been thoroughly debunked over and over again, then proceeding to cite how drug companies bring in hundreds of millions of dollars treating it, which Walsh, not even bothering to explain how it is supposedly a lie, can make complaints that much money. Okay, yeah, so basically he's anti-science. Okay, so it's pretty rich that somebody who is openly anti-science yeah, this guy's a subhuman degenerate, anti-science transphobe. So it's interesting how somebody who is anti-science would claim that being trans is anti-science, because they always do. They like to claim that being transgender is anti-science, then they engage in they always dig through their history, and it turns out they're an anti-vaxxer. They think the earth is flat. It's always that shit. Nice.
have created a whole new person. That in no sense is that still the same person.
No philosopher would agree with you there. To be completely real with that. So there's a debate in philosophy called the Ship of Theseus. Type a 1 in chat if you know what the Ship of Theseus is. If most people don't know what it is, I'm gonna explain it anyway, but I want to see how many of you guys know. Holy shit, a lot of you do. Okay, there's a few 2s in there. So the Ship of Theseus is a thought experiment. That's like paint stream time. We're doing a paint stream here for this. So let's say you have a boat, right? Like a wooden boat. This is a drawing of a boat, all right? And the boat is made of a bunch of wooden planks. You know, it's a wooden boat. This is the Ship of Theseus. And you have this boat for a long-ass time. This is an old-ass fucking boat, right? But then parts of it start breaking, right? It gets old, bits of wood rot and stuff. You know, it's a wooden boat. It's what happens to wooden boats, right? So you start replacing pieces of the boat over the course of decades, right? So let's say you start by replacing this piece of wood. And then a month later, you replace this piece of wood. And then 2 months later, you replace this piece of wood. And then a year later, you replace this piece of wood. And then 3 years later, you replace this piece of wood. And after, like, let's say 30 years, all the pieces of wood have been replaced. Is it a whole new boat, or is it the same boat? I personally think it's the same boat, because you get to the point where the pieces of wood have joined with the older ones, they become part of that boat, and so every time you add a new piece of wood, it just becomes part of the same boat, part of the same thing. It's the same boat. Not even people who think that it's not the same boat in this philosophical argument would argue that being able to physically augment your body through surgeries to make your body entirely that of a cis female would be killing the previous person and creating a whole new person. No philosopher would ever argue that. This guy is a fucking hack.
Especially if we're getting even into their brain chemistry, we're changing that out as well. We're swapping out their bones with the.
There's no female brain chemistry, okay? Listen, we're not getting to the scientific topics with our boy fucking Matt Walsh, who's already demonstrated that he is anti-science, okay? Swapping the bones, yeah, nice meme. You do realize you can lower bone density with hormones and like medicine, right? That's a thing you can do. Human cells work like that too. We were humans of Theseus. Yeah, it's actually true. Hey chat, guess what? You lose like I think it's 1 million cells a day. Even bone cells, which are the longest living cells in your body, you'll have had like, I think it's like 4 entirely new sets of bone cells in your entire lifetime or something like that. Hold on. Bone cells lifespan, because your skin cells are the fastest to die, if I remember correctly. Osteocytes, which comprise 90 to 95% of total bone cells, are most abundant in long-lived cells with a lifespan of up to 25 years. Yep, 25 years. So if you live 100 years, you'll have had 4 entire sets of bones. 4 entire sets of osteocytes, which are what make up your bones. And osteocytes live the longest. So, yeah, you can even have the Ship of Theseus argument with yourself now. I'm 20 years old, right? So most of my osteocytes in my body have probably died and been replaced, right? As well as all the other cells in my body. So does that mean I'm a different person entirely, just like a different human being now than I was when I was born? I don't think you would make that argument. And you wouldn't make the same argument if you could transform a cis guy into a cis woman.
With female bones, lesser density, and
you can literally lower bone density with hormones, by the way, in medicine. This isn't like you don't replace the bones. Like what?
Now, a slightly more realistic scenario, perhaps, would be where science gets to the point, and I don't think this is actually going to happen, but maybe where they create some sort of artificial womb where a woman or a man can carry a child around. And in that case, I would say, in no sense is that actually a woman. That's just
all right.
If anything, it's sort of a cyborg that we've created artificial parts. But yeah.
What? Why though? That's all we're gonna get, huh? This is the funny thing to me, right? When you put them into the situation where they can't like try to play the pseudo-intellectual, pseudo-scientific argument of, oh well, women are entirely biological, gender is biological, which just isn't true. The scientific community does not agree on this. When you like take away their ability to make that argument, all they can say is, well, they would be a cyborg and not a real woman. The fuck? The fuck? The fuck? I don't even know, dude. Yeah, cyborg rights. Holy shit. Yeah, these people at the end of the day are just degenerate. They're just subhumanly stupid. People like Matt Walsh, Ben Shapiro, no bullshit, all these reactionaries that we cover, they don't deserve life. They don't deserve the audiences they have, and they don't deserve even the tiniest bit of credibility. They're all subhuman to me, and the world would be better off without them, to be completely real with you. Aug rights, motherfuckers. Yeah, there's an entire series. Hey, guarantee most people who like Matt Walsh are gamers. Like, gamer, like, edgy Zoomer people who hate trans people. Guarantee they played, Deus Ex, right? Deus Ex, which is all about, like, rights for, like, cyborgs and augmented humans, right? Like, in a way, you could say that trans rights, or aug rights, is also trans rights. Yeah, they deserve to be permanently banned from the Minecraft server, Cinny. 100%. We could be able to fully swap chromosomes, and they'd make it's in it. Yeah. Well, no. Even if you could just completely transform them, they would, like, if you really drilled this guy down on every single argument, he would literally argue that there's a God-given essence of womanness that cis women have that makes trans women invalid. That's basically what they would argue. They don't have any arguments. They're pseudo-intellectuals. They claim to care about science. They claim to care about biology. They claim to care about well-being. But then when you debunk them on all of that, and you dig into their history, it turns out they're against science. This guy believes that thinks that holy shit. I'll get to that in a second. This guy literally thinks that depression is a choice. Like, the fuck? When is the Essence of Woman arc? Good meme. Yeah, I don't know. These people are fucking subhuman to me. Fuck them. Fuck them. Yeah.